Hey fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight, and welcome to another edition of Eagles Talk, upon further review, where we review the Eagles' previous game, and that game happened to be a loss on Sunday. I leave and I miss one game, and this is what you guys do. This is what happens. This is what happens when I'm not in the house. You guys can't hold it down. You guys can't hold it down. I have to be at every game. I have to make every broadcast. I am so disappointed. I'm not only disappointed in my team. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I'm disappointed in you guys and the fans. You guys could not hold it down. What happened to our mojo? We had won 3 out of 4. Maybe it's because I changed my underwear. I should have probably never did that. But anyway, all right. Look, we'll talk about it, man. I'm your man. I had death in the family and had to go. I had a very hectic weekend, man. It's not wasn't a good thing. You know, death is never a good thing. I'm going to miss my sister-in-law and my aunt. And it took me from Saturday being in Chester, and then I had to scurry all the way down to South Carolina to make the Sunday funeral just overnight. So it was very hectic, very tired, but I'm back and they are resting well, and rest in peace to my sister-in-law, Marshall, and my auntie, Nettie May. Rest in peace. But I'm back. I'm back now, and we have a lot to break down. So, Pat, how's it been going, man? You did a good job. You on the show did a great job. I did get a chance to catch some of your performance on Sunday, and as always, I've seen you grow before my very eyes. I remember, 5 years ago, and now you're holding it down when I'm not here, and not holding it down, not barely holding it down. I mean, you're doing the damn thing. You're doing the damn thing. So congratulations to you, man, and Michelle, for doing such a great job in my absence. And it makes me feel so much more secure that I can take off anytime, and the show be in good hands. So that's great.
You can't take off too many other games unless you're going to the game like I went last week, 2 weeks ago. But you know what? I'm doing okay, man. Normally I'd be like, yo, Dante, it's time to drink. But you know what? I had some time to reflect. Shout out to our Aunt Dutta. Shout out to my cousin in New York. Listen, it was kind of a crazy weekend. With everything, the Sixers, the death in our family, and the Eagles, So I guess we can get this thing started, bro.
Yeah, let's start this first quarter.
You're now listening to the
All right, you're listening to Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook that's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans, where we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. And guess who can take a shot now? Me, that's who. I am back.
But I had to do the sound. I got to do
My 30-day hiatus is over, and now I can take a shot. But I'm only doing one. I have a very, very early morning, so I'm just going to take a return celebratory shot, and then I'll just sip on my wine here. But I am back after 30 days hiatus. I am back, and you guys have got to join me in my return shot. So make sure you let me know what you're drinking out there. And Richard Boo has already got his Grey Goose and Ultra Light. He already got it up on the screen. He knows the drill. I love when regulars come in. They know the drill already. I thank you so much, guys, for the condolences. Quentin, what part of South Carolina? Bowman. You probably never even heard. If you've heard of it, then you are really from South Carolina.
You're really country.
Because you are country. Because that's my hometown. I mean, my father's hometown. And believe me, when you're riding through, if you blink, you will miss it.
Mm-hmm.
You will miss it. I'm telling you, it's that small. But it was Bowman, South Carolina. All right, so here we go, guys. Let's raise our drink to our Philadelphia Eagles in their defeat, and then let's talk about it. So, everybody, let's go. Down the hatch, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm partaking in the Teremana. I got the Teremana.
Yes, I got Teremana too. Look, a brand new fresh bottle.
All right, so here we go. We're both doing Teremana tequila. Let me know what you're doing out there. And here's to our Philadelphia Eagles. Down the hatch, 3, 2, 1.
Man.
Ooh, I might not make the whole show. My body's not used to shots. Oh, my goodness. I'm rocked already. Okay, no, but I'm not rocked enough to not understand what happened on Sunday. I didn't see the game live. I had to watch the game, in the replay. But it didn't look good for our hero there, meaning Jalen Hurts. Did not have a good game. Did not have a great game. And I can't for him to be accountable for what he did or how good he didn't play, I commend him for that. He remains that guy that's an ultimate leader. He shows all the intangibles, solid guy, confident guy. But unfortunately, those attributes alone does not make a winning quarterback. We kind of need to see the ability on the field. Now, I think he has, as everyone has some not setbacks, but limitations to their game. And he's no different than that. I do still have confidence that he can grow past those limitations or improve on some of his limitations, because I think he's on schedule for where he is in his career right now. We're only talking second year. 15 or 16 games started.
Yeah, 16 games. Yeah.
So I don't expect him to be Tom Brady at this point. So some of his limitations, but with that aside, he did not play good. You just can't. There's no way about it. He did not play good, and I will give him this. I'll say this. We experienced some of the growing pains of a second-year quarterback. I saw him take more chances, albeit they might have been bad decisions, but that's progression. Like, Tom Brady was just a game manager in his first year. You know what I'm saying? Throwing people open was not his specialty in his first or second year. And so throwing people open is not Jalen's at this point in his career either. So I see that. The good things that I saw was that he was being a little bit more courageous in attempting, having some confidence. And I hope that what happened on Sunday doesn't squelch his confidence, because you always talk about it, Pat. You said once he gets the confidence, he'll make some of those throws. And I saw that he had some of the confidence on Sunday, but he just made bad decisions. It was bad decision making in some of those. Throwing in the double coverage, looking the receiver down the whole entire time. You know that comes with maturity and some games under your belt. You can't watch the receiver from the time the ball is hiked to the time you throw it to him and don't expect that the secondary is not going to play your eyes. You can't do that. And he did that on one of those, at least one of those interceptions that I saw. And so he has to improve in that sense. The offense was the Sirianni didn't have a great game either. I thought he didn't have a great game either. And I always say this. his play calling and Jalen's performance are going to be tied together closely as long as those two guys are together.
Yes.
So it's not a coincidence when Sirianni has a shaky game, Jalen has a shaky game. I'm not placing all the blame on him because, some of those things, like I said, looking the receiver down the whole way, that's not Sirianni right there. Unless we blame him for not coaching them up out of that, we could probably give him that blame. But, that was on Jalen there. So, but these guys are married just like every head coach, especially an offensive-minded head coach and a quarterback. They're married. So you're going to see if one struggles, they're both going to the light is going to be glaring on both of them, and this week was no different. The defense played an all right game. I mean, it was only the Giants, and I saw some of those passive tendencies show up a little bit, but for the most part, they played well enough for that game to be won.
Well, yeah, you want that from your defense. You want our defense to only give up 13 points. We asked this for how long? We asked our defense to only give up a certain amount of points and have our offense score 2 touchdowns and win the game with our kicking game. That's what we need. Exactly what we want from our defense is exactly what they gave to us. But unfortunately, the 3 turnovers, that was a big deal in the beginning of the game. To score 0 points, to come out before halftime and not get that field goal or that touchdown, that was very crucial in what we wanted to do with this game. We get that touchdown, we in control of the game. We in control of that game, Dante. We get that touchdown before halftime, we control the game. Even if we kick that field goal, we still control the game. Because believe it or not, the Giants didn't have anything. Their best play was a quarterback RPO. That's their best play. I know the commentators were talking about Kenny Golladay. Kenny Golladay had 3 receptions for a grand total of 50 yards. He wasn't really doing any major damage. Saquon Barkley had 13 rushes, 9 of which was 1 yard or less. So the defense was doing its job. The offensive line, London Dickerson and Jordan Mailata is going to be some monsters for our offensive line going forward. But the problem is find a adequate center to replace Jason Kelce. Because to be honest with you, I really do believe this may be his last year with us as a Philadelphia Eagle. And with that being said, we need a center that's not going to hold, that's able to pull just like Jason Kelce is, and be as dominant as Jason Kelce is. That's going to be a hard pill to swallow when he's gone, because when he was in the game, it was a different monster. When he was out of the game, we was able to run the ball, yes, but there were so many penalties against Nate Herbert, just random penalties. Like he tackled a guy. Like, you don't tackle the guy, you're going to get that holding call.
All right, let me bring you guys in that's in the chat room. You guys are a big part of this program here. So let me back up and let me acknowledge the first person in the room, which I do all the time. And tonight it is JW Slots, the first one in the room, and he's in there from YouTube. How about that? Let me give you guys an action item here. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right. Thank you, JW Slots. What's up, fam? What's up? Richard Boo was second in the room. He says, what's up, Eagles family? What's up, Richard? And Jeremiah, what's up, family? What's up? Our resident from down under, Tony Barron. Yo, Bird Gang. Yo, what's up, Tony? Tony Barron, his son is going to be the next Shang-Chi. He's going to be the next Shang-Chi in the Marvel superhero series, the martial artist. I've seen him. He's kicking people, getting black belts and all that stuff. Tony, just make sure he gets his back pedal together, and we might be able to use him in the secondary in a couple of years. But Drexel Davis, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Drexel. Bill Kroll, what's up, Eagles family? What's up, Bill? Michael is in the house, too. We got to get back on track. We definitely do. Definitely. I don't think we should have been off track. That was very disappointing to me because I thought it was a winnable game, and I thought that we had the Mo. The Mo was in our favor.
We still did.
The momentum. I thought the momentum was in our favor.
Do you realize you ran for over 200 yards?
Yeah. So, John Batiste, I was down your way, man. I was in your state, actually. You probably don't know about Bowman. Bowman is so small, you might not have ever heard of it. But I was down there this weekend. Thank you guys for the condolences, Philip, Bill. There you go. All right, so to get some more current comments up here, Karen is saying we suck. Yeah, we suck last week. It hurt. It hurt a little bit. To come off of 3 out of 4 wins and then move into the part of the schedule that we can actually make up some ground. Like, I had no idea, and I even said it like on the air. I didn't think that we could possibly catch the Cowboys, right? But after that loss on Thanksgiving, it changed everything for me. I'm like, with our schedule coming up as easy as it is, and them dropping that game, we were only 2 back in the loss column, and with a very easy schedule, I thought we could catch them. And then we had this bump in the road this week, and we can ill afford to do the same thing against the Jets. But just sticking with this
doesn't it
game
seem
here.
like games we should win? We always have that bump in the road. It always seems like these games that we should win, that we don't even think twice about, like, how much we're gonna beat this team by. We always end up losing by a small margin. It's like not just the Eagles, it's all Philly teams, and you know what? I'm quite frankly, I'm tired of it, man.
All right, let me go to this one. You can answer this. Look, Ryan, he says, what are you guys' opinions on Jalen being quarterback 1 for years to come? Are you sold on him? I'm gonna say I'm not totally sold on him, not as of yet, but I do. I think he at least deserves to start next year.
Yeah, I do agree
and
with
then I think now, don't get me wrong, he cannot finish off this year playing like he played this past Sunday. Then everything's going to change. Everybody's opinion is going to change. Even those diehard Jalen supporters. If he finishes off the year, like let's say he finished the last 3 games similar to how he played on Sunday, then yeah, it's going to be a problem. But if he continues to make progress and he finishes off strong, or at least plateaus out, he deserves to start next year, especially when there's no top quarterbacks coming out that you would sell your mom to get this year. There's no one out there that you would say, all right, let's ditch Jalen and get this guy. There's just no one out there, and I know the hype is going to pick up as drafts gets closer, because that's just how it does.
I'll be honest with you.
Quarterbacks, they
No
just jump
quarterbacks
up.
in this draft is going to be serviceable or appealing to this Philadelphia market. No quarterbacks in this draft this year. Maybe next year. No quarterbacks this year.
So that bodes well for him too. So that's why he deserves another year. But he cannot finish these last 3 or 4 games playing like he did Sunday. We have to continue to see progression. And I'm okay with the bump in the road, and I'm gonna consider that Giants game as a bump in the road. I hope he gets back on track. This Sunday is imperative that he does against a horrible team like the Jets. We cannot see a repeat performance this weekend. We can't see that.
No. Listen. That is a horrible game that he played. The one thing we talked about, I think it was 4 weeks ago. I got mad at Jalen because he wasn't going through his progressions, and that's something that we could talk about in the second quarter, because this first half of the game, he didn't go through progressions. He locked onto a player, and that's where he threw the ball, and that's an issue. But also, that's part of the growth process as a quarterback in this league, is the ability to start going through your progressions. You progress from a quarterback that is one dimension to a two-dimension quarterback now, where you have the arm and the legs. Now you got progress as a quarterback in the league, where you actually have that vision to actually go off of one read to the next read. Use your eyes to take that safety to one part of the field and attack the other side of the field.
Right.
That's the progression. You had to progress each week. It's a different monster you're fighting. So this year has to be a progression, a stepping stone for him to be a better quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles going forward.
All right, so let's end this first quarter, Pat.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, so that's the end of the first quarter. You are watching, listening to Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook. That's by us fans, for us fans. It's all about us. We don't let anybody else in. No other fans come in. We just talk fan among fans. It's an exclusive club here, and we're glad that you guys join us every week and share that privilege with us, man. Thank you so much. So we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage. Sometimes it's just in celebration. Sometimes it's in drinking our sorrows away. So this week, I think it's a little bit of drinking our sorrows away, but we are we are partaking in the Terramana tequila. I'm not doing any more shots. I'm just going to sip on my red wine. But Pat is going to do the Terramana.
Got me a fresh bottle too.
Yeah, after 30 days, I'm back, but I'm not totally back. All right,
Yeah.
so I'll be pre-gaming like heck on Sunday, but today I'm just going to finish out with the wine. Thank you guys. Everybody, let me know what you're drinking out there, and let's do this. All right, so everybody, raise your drink to our Philadelphia Eagles and down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
All right, I'm gonna open right up with some of these comments because they are good ones.
Yeah, they are.
Let me see. Here's Ryan. Ryan says, I absolutely agree with you guys. Jalen needs to close the door to the possibility of someone else coming in, finish strong. Yeah, he has to do that. John Batiste, I thought this was very interesting, and we'll talk about this. Reports from Adam Schefter are saying that Russell Wilson would waive his no trade clause to come to Philadelphia. Do we want that?
No. You want to know why?
Why?
We have a younger Russell Wilson, because when he first became the starter in Seattle, the same thing that they're talking about, his arm, his accuracy, his ability to win, was the same thing they said about Russell Wilson. The same exact thing they're talking about Jalen Hurts, the same thing they said about Russell Wilson. The thing about Russell Wilson, though, he had a great running game in Marshawn Lynch. He had the best defense in the NFL at the time, in the Legion of Boom. Like, he had contributing factors to help him be successful in his time there initially. Now you're starting to see Russell Wilson for what he really is, right? He has to put the game on his shoulder, and he's turning the ball over left and right. He's losing to the Washington football team. He's not playing up to the attributes that the standards of which we think he should be. These commentators talking about we think him to be a future Hall of Famer, but really, what has he done for the Seattle Seahawks since that faithful Super Bowl championship? I mean, they went back because of that defense, but he did throw the ball and lose the game for them, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Russell Wilson without a defense is just Jalen Hurts in his first 2 years. I mean, I would love to explore the possibilities of this guy getting better, Jalen Hurts getting better, progressing, being a better quarterback, not just an overall athlete, but being a better quarterback. They said the same thing about Lamar Jackson. His arm is wacky. His running style is not going to survive. Lamar Jackson is right now one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL.
Wow, that was strong right there. That was I'm a homer too, but that was homerism right there, man. He freaking tore Russell Wilson a new asshole just now. I mean, I listening to you, Pat, if I didn't follow football, I'd be like, who the hell is this Russell Wilson guy? I mean, like, he's nobody. Pat just told me this guy he's Jalen Hurts.
I'm not saying
he told me he was Jalen Hurts. I'm a homer, yo. He just told me, like, yo, all right, Yender has a comeback. He says, biggest difference is Russell Wilson never threw under 60% completion in his career.
Hey, Russell
Wilson does have he got a cannon for an arm though. Now his arm strength is way different. It's on another level. But yeah, Pat, that was positive Pat right there. Pat, that was Homer Pat right there. You don't come in here. You want to talk? Don't we talk about my quarterback? I know he's in his second year, but Russell Wilson is nothing more than what we already have. What, you kidding me? He just said that.
But I mean,
Yo.
he's going to be 34 when he gets here. If we go get Russell Wilson, he'd be 34 when he gets here, right? How many more years he has under after that? Because he's a scrambling quarterback. He's not a stature quarterback like a Tom Brady. He's not a stature quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, who's actually a little bit mobile. He's not that type of quarterback. He's that quarterback that get going out the pocket. And a lot of times, if you go back and look at his tape, he makes a lot of things happen because he moves and he makes things on a run, right? At 35, that check engine light is on.
All right. I mean, but in this day and age, quarterbacks are playing longer. They done changed all the rules. You can't even breathe on the damn quarterback. If you go over there and you cough on them, well, in the COVID-19 pandemic era, you can't cough on anybody anyway because you might put them out for the whole year. But anyway, he is you can't touch the quarterback nowadays anyway. So the quarterbacks have a little more longevity to their careers. So I'm really not worried about his age. Well, I am a little bit, but I don't want him because of, like this guy is saying, where it is, Bill Kroll. But yes, Russell is good, but no, don't give up them picks. We need to rebuild. Don't be blinded by the bullshit. And that's the biggest reason why I would say
like
no to
$21 million.
He's making a lot of money. Yeah.
$21 million next year. If you bring him in, then that's $1 million less that you have, right? If you bring him in. So right now, Jalen Hurts is he's not even making $4 million, I don't think.
Right.
I didn't look at his contract. You take advantage of that. These are the opportunities where you build a franchise team, not a quarterback, a franchise team. You put cornerstones.
Right. I agree. You had 3 first-round picks. I was looking at there's a site out there that tracks the probability of us getting
two in the top 10 and 1 in the top 15.
Right. We would have 3 picks in the top 15 if the season ended today. Now we could ill afford, I think, with the where this franchise is right now, to give away those 3 picks and not add some talent to this roster, because we're not there. We're far from being there as a contender. So I would rather see them get some young talent, some cornerstones, as you mentioned, some cornerstones for this team, rather than put all of our eggs in one basket and get an aging quarterback, even though he's still in his prime, and we're not ready. We don't have the tools to give him to be successful. I say let's add these pieces now, and if Jalen doesn't happen to be the person, I don't know how much draft capital we'll have in the future, but then maybe look at bringing it once you put some things in place. But we have to first put some things in place. I always go back to Jeffrey Lurie and his press conference at the beginning of this year when he talked about the changeover to a new coach and stuff, and when he talked about letting Doug Peterson go, which would be a great time for me to do my annual or my weekly apology to Doug Peterson. Doug, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Doug. I was a little premature in my haste and wanting you out of the door. I would gladly welcome you back, and I apologize again, as I will do every week I'm on the air. But with that being said, Jeffrey Lurie even said in his departure, or during that departure from Doug Peterson, the Doug Peterson era, he said that this is going to be a couple year transition or process here. It's not going to happen overnight. And with keeping that in mind, we're not ready for Russell Wilson. We're not ready to mortgage the future to bring Russell Wilson in here because our roster is still incomplete. It still has holes. We don't even have the weapons for him to be successful, if you ask me. Outside of Devontae Smith, we don't. And Rager, I'm about to touch on Rager.
Listen,
man. But outside of Devontae Smith, we don't even have the receivers that he needs, the weapons he needs to be successful here.
I want to answer one question, and I'm looking right at it. KT Thomas put a question about Pickett, the quarterback. His name is Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh, the quarterback from Pittsburgh, right? I'm sorry. I don't see you. I don't think you see it. KT Thomas said, "I'm telling you guys, Pickett will be a game changer if we get him in a draft."
Yeah, I saw that.
Before we talk more about Jalen Reagor and about the ability of what we need to add to this team, first things first, when you want to talk about Pickett, you got to go back, not just look at his senior stats, because a lot of times what happens is these guys put up these enormous stats in their senior season. But what is the actual stat line for their whole career. I mean, yes, there's growth, and sometimes their senior season is their best season because that's the growth that they had. But if you have a guy that's been consistent and a guy that's not being talked about, normally that guy will succeed the person that had one outstanding year. And the one person I'm talking about that nobody's talking about at quarterback, and I hate to bring this up because I'm in the camp of Jalen Hurts, but Desmond Ritter from Cincinnati, the quarterback for Cincinnati, 6'4", 228 pounds. He can move. He's agile, and he has a very strong arm. If you're talking about quarterbacks, but with that being said, back to the thing about building blocks for this team. There's not enough assets out there. Jalen Reagor is a bona fide running back playing receiver. All right. He is. Let's be honest. He's a running back playing receiver. I think they would benefit if they switch positions, put Gainwell at the slot receiver and put Reagor at the running back. I think that might be a positive change because right now, when you look at this guy, guy.
No, I think he can't even be a running back. He can't be a return man. How are you going to be a running back? This guy, no, he needs to be on a practice squad. That's where he needs to be. And it's only because of the draft politics that he's even has a spot on the 53-man roster. For real. I mean, if we could tie Howie up, I mean, tie him up and gag him and bound him and then lock him in the room and ask this coaching staff who would they start, Jalen Reagor would probably not even be on the field right now.
I agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree with you because when I went back and watched this tape and watched his route running, he has no skill to be a wide receiver. He has no skill to be a wide receiver. I'm sorry, he doesn't.
Oh my God, this is going to be up there with the who did we picked JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
You know what? JJ had a reception
instead of Metcalf. This hurts more though, Pat, because we picked Jalen Reagor right before they picked Justin Jefferson. And this guy, we're going to be kicking ourselves in the ass when he goes into the Hall of Fame.
I want to ask you this question, Dante. All right. If we pick if we pick Justin Jefferson, right, do we have an opportunity to pick Devontae Smith? Do we have a new coaching staff? These are the building blocks, right? So these are the blocks that if you pick these certain guys, maybe we still have Carson Wentz. Maybe we have Doug Peterson. Maybe it's no apology tour that you're doing this year, right? Maybe if we hit on these draft picks,
I think we still would have sucked last year.
I don't think so.
You think about it. Last year we sucked, or Carson sucked, mainly because of the offensive line was in disarray.
It was a terrible offensive line.
And picking Justin Jefferson would not have stopped all the injury. It wouldn't have stopped Brandon Brooks from being out for the year. It wouldn't have stopped all the injuries that decimated our offensive line last year. And that was a big part of why this offense was horrible, along with the play of Carson Wentz. But his play might have improved had he had a better offensive line. We never know. But I don't think Justin Jefferson would have made a difference in how this team would have played last year. Not with that offensive line. Nothing would have helped this team on offense with the offensive line the way they were last year.
I totally agree with you with that one in this quarter, right?
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, so that's the end of the second quarter. We're at halftime of Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. We like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we're talking about this horrendous loss to the Giants this past week on Sunday. In my absence, I couldn't watch the game. It was killing me not to be able to watch it, man. I was just, peeking at the score here and there, and I felt encouraged that we kept it close for a while, and then the wheels start to fall off. We were within striking distance within the whole game. And the one play I did see and then I turned it back off is I saw the fumble by Boston Scott. And I was like, damn it. And I was like, all right, maybe I shouldn't be watching this.
We hitting our stride in that possession. Like I'll be honest with you, Dante. If you were able to watch that game, that second half was a whole different Eagles team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally, the score should have been 21-13 going to that last drive.
That was it. That was our drive too. I mean, that would have put us I mean, that's how close it was. We would have been ahead had we got that touchdown. We would have been ahead. And
before I go on this, let's do the shot, man, because it's a lot to talk about that. I know you didn't see it live, and you didn't get that feeling like all us fans got that feeling like what just happened. It's literally just like what just happened. I wish I could put the photograph of the two missed catches.
He didn't water the flowers. You see Jeremiah's comment up there. He didn't water the flowers. And how many of you guys out there fertilized? How many of you, be honest, how many of you fertilized the team last week? It's all about the plant food and fertilizing this team. And I don't think you guys poured enough fertilizer into our team last week. So I'm blaming the fans too. All right, here we go. You're watching the Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook by Eagles fans for Eagles fans, where we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. And if you guys, I am not doing anything. Pat is doing a Terramana. I am back to doing shots. I'm just not partaking tonight. I will be in full pregame mode on Sunday, so catch me where I will do all 4 shots. Ooh, that'll be something. So catch me then. But everybody, let me know what you're drinking out there. And Pat, let's take this down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the third quarter.
I'll tell you this right now.
Third quarter.
When you first open the bottle of Terramana, those first couple shots are it gets you right there. But after that, it gets mellow, it gets sweet, it gets good. But those first couple shots, like woo.
All right, look. Tony Burns says, "Oh, there was definitely more than enough fertilizer." The beautiful Stephanie Sandlin says she's drinking white wine for her tonight. That's very uncharacteristic. Is he okay? Somebody take her temperature and make sure Steph's okay.
Yeah, she's good. She's just having a little rough time. That's all.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying. All right, just to keep an eye on the missus. Okay, Michael says, "What do you think about Miles Sanders?" Miles he's brittle as peanut. He's brittle. I don't know. He's starting to get that moniker as being brittle here.
I'm not. It's hard to say somebody's brittle. I mean, ankle injuries are a tough thing. I'll be honest with you. Having an ankle injury is a tough thing. All right. Regardless of how good you are, when you have an ankle injury, accidentally get rolled up on, you're gonna have that for the rest of the season, regardless of what they do for you. But this guy gave you 7 yards per clip, 9 rushes for 61 yards. Boston Scott gave you 15 rushes for the same amount of yards. I mean, at 3-yard clip. Yes, he's often injured, but his home run ability, his ability to give you the big yards is a plus in his offense. Somebody said it earlier this week. He said, you know what, this need to be a 3-headed monster. I mean, we're going to eventually be a 3-headed monster when and if Jordan Howard can come back, because there were some situations where we definitely missed Jordan Howard. We missed that hammer going through that hole. Pause. We missed that hammer annihilating that front line. We did. I'm not going to sit there and BS you, because there were opportunities, especially when we were on a short yardage. When in the second quarter, I mean, when we basically threw the ball away, we could have ran the ball, at least the first, second down with Jordan Howard, and he scored a touchdown. That left side of the line, that left side of the line with Jordan Mailata and Landon Dickerson is going to be something that we're going to be amazed at for the next years, especially when London gets to learn how to pass block. He's already a superior run blocker.
Yeah, he is. He's a beast down there. Yeah. I got a question for you, but first, give me the news break thing. Mel Davis is in the house. He says, "What's up, fellas? Late, but he's here." Terramana also. He's doing the Terramana also. Cheers. Yeah, that's very important. These are the type of sports breaks we like to have on Eagles Talk. Ryan Rieger says, "Do you guys have certain days and/or times you do this show every week? It's nice listening to y'all talk about the Eagles without all the hate that WRP radio spews." Yes, we do come on every game day whenever the Eagles play. We do a pre and a post game show, and we come on Thursdays at 7:00. 7 to 8. So, yes, we do have specific times. In the off season, of course, we don't do the game day shows because there's no games, but we do still come on Thursdays, 7 to 8 in the off season. So, thanks, Ryan. So, I have a question for you. So, do you think that Sirianni had sort of a brain freeze or brain fart on Sunday with some of his play calling? We still put up a lot of yards on the ground, but it seems as though he wasn't in a good rhythm offensively with the play calling.
Yeah, I think he did. I think we mistake this Giants team for a team that we could just do whatever we wanted against. Be honest with you, we can. I think Sirianni realized that the way to win this game, the mentality this team has, is to be bullies up front, and he got away from that early. And I looked back at those interceptions, and I'm thinking like he's locked on to this one receiver and he's throwing it right to that one receiver. This had to be an offensive call, like get this guy the ball in this situation, regardless of what's going on around him. So that may be, yes, I believe that was a brain fart on Sirianni's part because he wanted to try to get a different aspect of the offense. Listen, we often say if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? We often say if it's not broke, don't fix it. If you just got a brand new 2022 Bentley Continental, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you changing the tires?
Right.
That thing rides smooth already. Why are you changing the tires?
Yeah, why are you putting third-party tires on the Bentley that comes equipped with with great tires and stuff? Why are you doing that? And there's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong. I mean? Again, I go back. I know you got the comment on the screen. I want you to read this comment in a second. But again, I want to go back to this one thing that he did early in the season, and he said it after press conference because he said Jalen Reagor, he had to try to give him the ball. You did it early in the season against the 49ers when he got injured, right? That's how you give him the ball. Those jet sweeps, right? Those quick slants, you give him the ball in those situations. You don't give him the ball deep downfield because he doesn't run crisp routes, and his hands are very suspect.
Wait a minute. We bought a receiver, and you tell me we can't throw him the ball?
No.
Oh, you just said you told me we got it. We draft a receiver. We get a receiver in the first round, and you're telling me
you didn't hear what I said.
We can't throw him the ball.
I didn't say we can't throw him the ball. I said we shouldn't throw him the ball.
Well, that's still bad. We got a receiver that we shouldn't throw the ball to. That kind of tells you that we messed up on picking a receiver here. His job title is his job description is a part of his title. He receives the ball. That's all he has to do is catch it. That's true. He can't do that.
He can't.
That brings me to Jalen Reagor. I've stayed off him long enough, but Jalen Reagor, and I saw somebody else's comment earlier. They called him Nelson Reagor because he can't catch the ball.
Did you see the video I put up on the group?
Yeah, I saw that.
We were catching the baby.
That's horrible.
Unlike Reagor.
Yeah, unlike Reagor. Are you kidding me, man? I do think that it is too soon to call him a complete bust because
it's not too soon.
I don't know because some receivers don't get it. I mean, you get the exceptional ones like the Metcalfs and the Justin Jeffersons that get it immediately, but some come on a little slower than others. So he's going to get another year. I get that. I mean, Jesus Christ. Look how long we've given JJ. And I think this is JJ's last year. He should not get another year.
But you know what, JJ
he isn't officially a bust.
He settled into a role. Yes, he is a bust, but he settled into a role which has been productive for the team. Yes, he's a wide receiver, but he settled into that blocking wide receiver role.
Come on, dude.
But listen, wait a minute.
Dude.
He won us. He got us into a position to be when the ball comes towards him, defense is not even there. Like
all right, hold
the
on.
defense was even
I'm
there when he
skipping
threw a
this
ball.
comment here. I put this comment up here for a reason. All right, so here we go, Dave.
I like
We
that
need to
comment.
run more 10 to 15-yard pass plays and keep the ball moving, screens, downs, and outs, etc. 5-yard pass plays and pick up another 5 after the catch. That's what's missing, in my humble opinion. Go Eagles. I agree with it. What do you think about that? I agree with that.
So being at the game and seeing the route running from these wide receivers and seeing that they're running short routes or running crosser routes and sitting there. So there is another teaching that has to be done by our wide receiver coach. It's a teaching called get open by any means necessary. If you play street football, you ran empty routes. Basically, you had guys say run here and do this, but you ran an empty route just to try to get open. You didn't stay in that one spot. So you ran it out, then you ran inside, then you ran outside. You try to figure defender to get open and get the ball. That same philosophy need to be taught to our wide receivers because once they run their strict route, they're sitting there. And that's why Jalen is trying to run. When he doesn't see the initial wide open guy, he's trying to run. And these guys aren't doing nothing. Then you talk about, I heard this saying about the scramble drill. Jane Rager said it was just a scramble drill play. It should never have been a scramble drill play because let's go back to Jalen Hurts and his progression, right? His progression through the offense needs for him to see all available wide receivers because that Devontae Smith cat, right? Even though he only had one catch, one catch for 2 catches for 22 yards. He was open quite a bit. But they did kind of shade to his side. That last play of the game, not only did he well up and beat James Bradbury, the safety couldn't get to the corner in his zone fast enough if Jalen Hurts threw the ball to him.
All right, so would you say I didn't play like you did, but would you say that it would be a safe bet to look at Devontae Smith every time you drop back in the pocket?
He should be your number one progression.
Yes.
If you don't have Devontae Adams on the opposite side, he should be your number one option every single time. So your progression, your progression as a quarterback should go from your number 1 through to your number 2, 3, 4, right? Sometimes you skip over 2 because 2 may be a decoy to get 1 open. And same thing with 4. 4 may be a decoy to get 3 open. So sometimes you can skip over that progression, especially when you're proficient in the offense. So in this sense, Devontae Smith should be your number 1 all the time. Right, he should be your number 1 all the time, unless there's double teaming him. Then you can throw decoy routes for him. You throw these combination decoy routes where you get these 2 defenders on him, and you have somebody else that's available, right? And that somebody else that should be available should be Quez freaking Watkins. All right,
not
Jalen Rager.
Yeah, not
Quez
Jalen Rager.
Freaking Watkins. All right.
Yeah.
So
and I'm sorry, Wayne says as much too. Make Devontae and Quez our 1 and 2.
Correct.
And I would even suggest this. Like, all right, so I know you don't get a bunch of time back there in the pocket, but I would even come back because maybe his initial move doesn't get him open or whatever. But like you said, when you look at the tape and you look back over, it's a lot of times when Devontae Smith is open. And it may not be his initial move on his initial route, but I would say in progression, I would probably 1, Devontae, 2, Quez, and I would probably go back to Devontae before I look at the 4th option. You know, I'm like, I would skip, you know what I mean? And I think the good quarterbacks do that to their top receivers, their number 1s. They probably go 1, all right, he's not there. 2, he's not there. Let me go back to 1 to see what he's doing because that number 1 is on most teams. Let's take Green Bay, for example. You got Devontae Adams, right? You go Devontae Adams, not open. Boom. What's my man? Cobb. Cobb's not there. He probably goes back to Devontae. Devontae's open now. Now he throws it to Devontae. I would suggest something like that.
I'm so happy that that Gindor put that comment up because I was going through that. I was in my head. I'm like, we need somebody else that runs routes that can figure into the actual passing game that doesn't just stand there. Because yes, you can look at Devontae Smith for your first route, then look somewhere else, then come back to it, right? But if he's double, you're not going to that. That's a decoy route. That has to be a decoy route. So you need these other receivers to win on their routes. John Hightower, who's on our practice squad, was a guy that constantly, even though he didn't catch the ball like we wanted him to, he only had 3 drops last year, believe it or not, right?
He only had 3 targets.
Yeah, way more than that. He had some pretty big plays.
I'm only joking.
I know.
Yeah, 3 drops or nothing. But there's something when there's only 3 targets and you got 3 drops. But no, I get you. He was high on my list too. I like John Hightower last year.
Smith was a definite who they wanted to take away. Goddard was somebody they wanted to take away. That's why you didn't see many targets of Goddard, because they wanted to take Goddard away. So with that being said, when you're going through your reads and your progressions, right, you have to be quick with it. So if you don't see these guys wide open, there's always should be a check down. There were many check downs in these interceptions that were thrown. Boston Scott was open on 1 check down that he threw in the middle of the field, where Quez Watkins actually got held by the freaking defensive back that caught the interception. They didn't show that back on the stadium or they actually didn't show it back on the TV. You had to go to your all 22 tape to see that Quez Watkins was being held farther than 5 yards. There were some penalties that should have been called on their defense that were never called. Hands through the face, defensive holding, many times there was defensive holding, because we do have receivers that actually can get open. I'll be honest with you. Quez and Devontae are stepping stones for our receivers going forward. We need to add a veteran and maybe another young guy. Get rid of Rager, get rid of J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Need to add another young guy and move on from that, right? Move on from that.
All right, that's the end of the third quarter. Let's end that, Pat.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, so you're watching the Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook by Eagles fans for Eagles fans, where we talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. This week, we are doing the Terramata Tequila. Well, Pat's doing it. I am back on the shot train, but I'm not partaking at this particular time. I'm just going to sip on my red wine. I've been so mellow since I've come back. I did have some. I was down South Carolina. I had some water. I had some good water down south.
I put in an order for some water.
All right, yeah.
Did he get up here yet?
Oh, well, I can neither verify or not whether that shipment got here. I'm just saying.
Water.
All right, but yeah, we had some good water out there, standing around the fire pit and enjoying ourselves and telling stories and just reminiscing with the cousins. So we had a good time down there. But everybody, raise your drink in honor of our Philadelphia Eagles, and let's give them some energy as they go face the Jets on Sunday, a game that we're looking for a win. So everybody, raise your glasses to our Philadelphia Eagles and down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the fourth quarter.
All right, so we got the Jets coming up on Sunday. No major injuries, right? Everybody's going to be there, right?
Everybody should be playing. There are 3 players that were held out of practice today. Boston Scott, illness. Jordan Howard, knee. And I forget the last player. I'll bring it up in a second for you.
We need Jordan. We need Jordan Howard back.
But you know what? I would definitely hold him out this game, because after this game you get a bye week, and a running back with a knee injury, you don't want to mess around with that. You do not want to mess around with knee sprain at all. I had an MCL injury, and listen, my knee still hurts. So he's a young guy. You know, he's what's he, only 27, 28?
Yeah,
and I feel like he's much older than that.
He definitely still has a lot left in the tank too. I mean, it's just amazing that this guy was on the practice squad and not on the active roster for most of this year until Sirianni committed to running the ball. And it's amazing that
we saw him in the preseason when he picked up that blitz. You remember he picked up that blitz and knocked that dude silly? Like, yo, this guy needs to be on the active squad, because we need to have a different dynamic of our offense. He gives us that physicality that we always want of our offense. So, just to let you know, who did not practice today was Jordan Howard, Boston Scott, Jason Kelce. Limited participants were Derek Barnett, TJ Edwards, Jalen Hurts, Josh Sweat. Everybody else fully participated today.
All right, so we should be in good shape versus the Jets, but this team cannot take anyone for granted, as we seen last week against the Giants. Because I just knew we had that game. I just knew it, but we're not at that. We're not that advanced in our process for this team to be expecting easy wins. We have to go out there and earn each win, and
Yes,
I
we
don't
do.
think that the defense came to play. I think the offense just didn't match that intensity, and that's why we could not get over
Man.
the hump. But so saying that to say there's no easy wins. There's no given wins to us. We got to go out and earn each one. And even though it's the Jets, we got to go out there and we got to prove ourselves and earn that win. It's not going to be given to us, and if we don't take them seriously, they could very well do to us what the Giants did to us. So
I
we got to
think
go
we're
out
going to go out there and smack them in the mouth because we're a lot of these players right now. They're upset that they didn't get that win against the Giants. They're upset that you know what we messed up in the first half. We didn't play Eagle football in the first half, and we started playing a little bit of Eagle football. We only scored 7 points. We held a team down to 13 points. We were dominant in the game. They were dominant in the game, Dante. They
But
were
tell me this:
dominant.
does it feel like this? All right, so because there's been times during the season that I've been very down on our coaching staff. I
Mhm.
thought they were. I know they're very young. I thought they were in over their heads, and then he changed to a run first type of offense, and we've seen the season kind of turn around. All right, but when it comes back to this coach,
Mhm.
do you think that he is still growing in his play calling skills? Because it seemed like he got too cute last week at first by not running, not being run heavy, and then having to get back to it. Does he have a mindset like, all right, we're rolling now. Now I'm not that he's thinking I'm gonna get cute, but now I'm gonna try to spring some of my passing philosophy
Mhm.
on this team and see if it works. And then when it doesn't work, he goes, all right, I got to go back to the run. It doesn't work.
Yes, he definitely is. Because let's be honest, Nick is a receiver. He's a receiver by he played receiver in college, played receiver in high school. He's a wide receiver. So the wide receiver mindset is like I gotta get the ball in the air. That's the wide receiver mindset. I mean, I play wide receiver and I still think the same thing, even though I'm a defensive guy now, right? But to your thought about did he get too cute? He definitely got too cute. He got away from the mentality that got him to this position, to that game, to be one of the hottest teams in the NFL, right? Right? They put up 50 rushes against the number one rush defense in the NFL and dominated them, the Saints, right? They even put up 202 yards rushing against the Giants, even though 208 yards, even though they were 3 turnovers and they weren't successful. It didn't even look like it. They put up 200 yards rushing. They've been averaging in the last 4 or 5 games over 175 yards running the ball. Their mentality, their philosophy, their style is a run first team. Their style is on par with the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens will beat you both ways. You know that, right?
Well, it's a lot of teams that are reverting to the run first philosophy this year, probably
Because
to
the
the
NFL is too
dismay of
cute.
the NFL.
The NFL is
Uh,
too cute. They got too many divas playing defense that say, now we you don't have to worry about hitting them too hard." But no, these teams going back into this roughneck playing kill a person football in the street type things where you got a 365-pound
because
left
it
tackle,
works. Because
330-pound right guard.
the
Yes.
bottom line is
Yes.
still scoring more than the opposing team, and it doesn't matter how you do that. And the great coaches don't give a damn how good it looks. They do what works. We're seeing the great Bill Belichick have a bounce back season with a rookie quarterback because he has discovered that he has a team that can run the ball.
Yes.
So he's going to turn his young rookie quarterback, who is pretty good as a young quarterback, into a game manager, and he's putting it on his running game, and it's very successful for him. He's very successful. Not only him, it's successful for us up until this last game because our coach wants to flop back and forth when he needs to stay with the running game the whole time until we get the pieces in place for him to actually go more pass heavy. Right now, we have the team in place where it's run heavy right now. Run heavy is going to be successful for us. Don't deviate from that plan. Maybe we'll try something else next year when we get some more weapons on offense. But for right now, the run game is it for us. Don't get cute out there.
I gotta ask you one question before we go to some comments and we end this thing. When you play ball, right? You know, what position was your position?
The 2 or 3, something.
All right. So if you were a head coach, right, you would design plays to get you 2 and 3 more opportunities, wouldn't you? Just because you were in that position, right? Then you realize that, you know what, my guard is a scoring nightmare. He's a matchup nightmare with all my power forward and my center. And those are your 1s, your 4, and your 5. You go away from that just because you want to get your 2 and 3 some feel of the game, but not realizing that your go-to guys are outside of the position that you played. Sirianni's have that same identity crisis right now. And it's to be expected from a rookie head coach. He's going to have his ups. He's going to have his downs. And right now he's learning. He is I see that comment. He is learning that this team is a physical team, and he has to continue being that physical coach. So is Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon learned that his corners are not zone corners all the time. They are press corners, and they play better football when they're in the receiver's face.
And they did so this week. Jonathan Gannon did give them a chance to play some more man-to-man, and we're seeing that they flourish when they're in press coverage and they're allowed to play more man-to-man. He probably should just stay away from the zone, but I know he has to do it to mix it up here. And
I wish we had an intern that could actually pull it up, because I think they're better. They're like, as a defense whole, when they're playing man-to-man up close defense, they're much better as a defense than when they're playing in zone. They give more yards and all this other crap up when they're playing in their zone, because there is zone principles when you're playing a corner or a safety that you have to abide by. You literally have to abide by those rules. If you don't, you put yourself in a situation. But we don't have an intern to go look that stuff up.
All right, a couple more comments, and then we've got to get out of here. Jeremiah says, he said it earlier, but he says, if we get good draft picks, can our coaches coach them up? That remains to be seen. But I like what they've been doing thus far, although they've not had. We can make cases where they have done a good job coaching up, and then we can also make cases like Rager where it has not been successful. And I don't know if we can totally blame the coaching staff for that. We can look at Devontae Smith and said they're doing a good job with him, but actually he's come in with a special set of skills and a special work ethic, and he's just not regular. So I don't know if we can give the coaching staff all the credit for developing him, but we can definitely look at somebody like a Jalen Rager and say, like, yo, he has not progressed from year 1 to year 2.
Yeah.
And maybe that does fall a little bit on the coaching staff.
I think it's the player, because some players have that swagger, right? Some players, you look at them, they have that it. They have that the way they walk, you can tell, oh, this guy we got to watch out for. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that. I already told him, Bill. I put it in the comments. I said, Bill. But Jalen Rager doesn't have that confidence. Like I talked about Jalen Hurts having the confidence just to rip it, just throw the ball. He doesn't have that confidence yet because he's still learning his progressions. Jalen Rager doesn't give you anything right now.
No, not a damn thing. Michael says go Saints tonight. Yeah, so the Thursday night game is coming on. The New Orleans Saints versus the Dallas Cowboys, or maybe it's the Dallas Cowboys versus the New Orleans Saints. I don't know where they're playing.
I want to answer.
We are all Saints fans tonight. We are all Saints fans tonight.
This last question by William Still, then we can move forward. He's talking about bringing in Allen Robinson. Devontae Adams from the Green Bay Packers is going to be a free agent, unrestricted free agent.
So who would you want, Devontae or Allen? I like that.
Listen, if I can't get Devontae, Allen Robinson will be. I'll still be on the phone with his agent. Listen, we're gonna put all the money. We're gonna bring the truck in for Devontae. If it doesn't go for it, we're bringing the truck for you.
Yeah. All right. I'm with that. All right. With that being said, man, we're about to get out. We're getting out of here. We're out of here. We're going to be back on Sunday. Who we play? We play the Jets. What time? 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock.
We have not lost to the Jets, and we want to continue that same record after we demolish these guys, because this team is hungry. Our team is hungry right now. We're upset. There's a lot of upset players, and we're going to smack these freaking New York Jets around.
All right. Well, we need to see that. So you guys come back and join us as we get your pregame started at 12 o'clock on Sunday. I will be doing all 4 shots in the pregame, so make sure you come because it is going to be very exciting. It's going to be something else to see me make it in the fourth quarter on Sunday after not doing any shots in a month. So come back and check us out on Sunday pregame at 12 o'clock. I'm your man, Dante the Dark Knight. For my co-host, Pat, and our co-host in absence, Nichelle, we will see you guys on Sunday. We're out. Peace.
We go live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Smash him up, crack that fool. Quarterback crack, yo, sack that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up, watch that move. Went too swift.